Yo, what up though? This is your boy Crispy Daniels, and you are now on ShowNTalk. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, I know this isn't one of my regular nights to do a movie review, but I want to give y'all a bonus review because I got a big one for you coming up. We're going to be talking about the Silent Twins. I don't know how many of you guys heard of that story, but I just recently seen the movie, and it was okay. You know what I mean? I'm not going to spoil anything right now. I'm going to wait until the actual review. So when we get to that, we're going to talk about the movie. Then we're going to talk about the real story. You know what I mean? But for now, we're going to be talking about one of the greatest hood movies ever from 1993. And that movie is Menace to Society. So, before we get into this movie review, I want to talk about my experience with the movie, when I seen it the first time. Man, believe it or not, y'all, it was like 10 years later when I seen it the first time, back in 2003. So, when I first saw that opening scene where Kane and O-Dog is walking into the corner store or the liquor store or whatever, and, shit, because the Asian dude would have been straight if he ain't said what he said right when they was walking out the store. You know what I'm saying? When he said, "I feel sorry for your mother," then that set off O-Dog. You know what I'm saying? But, I don't know how I feel about that scene because on one hand, I'm like, damn, that might have been an unnecessary murder. But then on the other hand, it was kind of, symbolism of what happened in real life with, what's the girl name? Natasha Harlins. I think it's Natasha Harlins, you know what I'm saying? Over a bottle of juice. She was murdered back in 1991, which was fucked up, you know what I mean? But, let's just go ahead and get into the review, because that's a deep, topic for a lot of people, especially the people who knew her personally. So rest in peace to her, you know what I'm saying? But, first thing I want to talk about is the violence level in this movie. So, I did a review on Boys in the Hood maybe a few months ago, or a month ago, or 2-3 months ago, something like that. I can't really remember because I done so many videos. But as far as the violence level in this movie, it's a little more violent than Boys in the Hood. You know what I mean? The scene, the beginning scene, like I was saying earlier, where O-Dog shot the guy behind the counter and then took the woman in the back, took the videotape and all that. You know what I mean? Dude was ill. You know what I mean? So when you saw the violence in the movie, like the scenes with the violence, it held no punches. The violence level was at an all-time high in this hood movie. You know what I'm saying? And I would go as far as to say that this movie was more violent than Boys in the Hood. You know what I'm saying? Like I said. But I think Boys in the Hood, though, to me, Boys in the Hood is a more realistic hood movie. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm saying Menace to Society is not, but honestly, I know a lot of street dudes, you know what I'm saying, personally, but I don't think I ever, hung out with nobody like Kane. You know what I'm saying? Dude was on some ill shit. Like, for real. I mean, there was times where he had his, soft moments and, you know what I mean? He was trying to do the right thing, it seems like, but he just kept getting into some shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's crazy. But the violence in this movie, like I was saying before, pulled no punches. There was a scene where, Kane and Harold, his cousin, got carjacked. And, Harold, he went out, trying to go, he went out trying to, blast or whatever, but they got him first. They shot Kane in the shoulder. And when they was taking him through them hospital doors, and you saw him, just shaking, I guess, convulsing, that scene was pretty traumatic, too, back in the day. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, the first time I seen it is when I was 16. And I enjoyed every second of the movie. Because, like I said, that movie had a message that I think everybody should have saw. I mean, it's a good movie, man. And there was another scene where O-Dog and Kane rolled up on the same dudes that Jack, Kane, and Harold earlier. You know what I'm saying? Blew one dude's head right the fuck off and just shot the other dude in the back multiple times. And then, you know what I'm saying, you got my boy A-Wax. You know what I'm saying? MC8. Shout outs to MC8, man. yo, I want to hear some shit from you, bruh. You know what I mean? I know you probably got some stuff out there. I just didn't get to hear it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's my dude, yo. I don't know him personally, so you know what I mean? If it sounds like I'm giving him a shout out like I know him personally, I don't. But I was just a fan of his music, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what I mean? So AWAX jumps out the car, grabs the dude, you know what I'm saying, the heavyset dude, just shoots him in the chest, like just up close, just point blank. It did shoot him like I think 3 more times while he's on the ground. You know what I mean? Now, that dude right there, you could tell, AWAX, MCH character, he did some G shit back in his day. You know what I mean? I guess you could say he was retired, but he was just rolling with Kane and O-Dog, you know what I'm saying, to get them dudes, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But yeah, I would like to get into the characters in that segment in a moment, you know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about man, y'all, I don't know why I can't talk sometimes, man. I be getting tongue twisted, but I just want to talk about the violence in the movie. You know what I mean? All the violent scenes. You know what I mean? Do you have a scene where Kane sees this dude in the drive-thru? He's trying to take his Dayton's and shit. You know what I mean? So he rolls up on the motherfucker. Now, this scene right here was kind of funny. When I first saw it, the shit was funny. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. You know what I mean? Because how you gonna sit here and take this man's jewelry, take his money, take his rings, take all that shit, and then you gonna ask this dude to order you a burger with cheese? Like, that's some ill shit, yo. You know what I'm saying? If anybody pulled that off in real life, that's some ill shit. You know what I mean? He just took everything this dude had, yo, except for the car itself. Like, that scene had me rolling when I first saw it, yo. I know it's supposed to be a serious movie, but I think, to me, that scene was played up for comedic laughs, yo. You know what I mean? Because, again, it's not normal to rob somebody through a drive-thru and then make this motherfucker order you a burger and shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit's crazy, yo. But, yeah, and there was another scene in the movie where, I'm going to go back to the flashback where you had Samuel Jackson's character in the movie Tate. He played Kane's dad. You know what I'm saying? And they was in the house having a house party or whatever, playing cards. Kane's mother, I think she was a heroin addict, you know what I'm saying? So Kane's father was owed money by this one dude who just got out of prison and whatnot. You know what I mean? So apparently this dude didn't take Tate seriously, Kane's father or whatever, because he told this dude to suck his dick. He gonna pay his ass when he feel like paying him. So dude got up with the gun and shit and shot the fuck out of him. You know what I mean? He slept on him, but he shouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, man, I tell people this all the time. You never know what somebody's going to do. You know what I mean? You just be acting all cocky and stuff. Just because you know somebody back in the day to be a softie doesn't mean they a softie now. So you can't always treat people the same way. You can't always sleep on somebody, because one day they're going to get fed up and knock your ass out. You know what I'm saying? Or do something to you. And I hate to say that, and I'm not promoting, killing or nothing like that, but you never know, man. Shit's crazy out here nowadays. But yeah, we're about to jump into the characters, y'all. My favorite part of the segment. You know what I'm saying? The first character I want to start off talking about is Kizane. You know what I mean? So again, Kane has his dark moments, he has his, good moments or whatever. So it's like, I think hanging around certain people kind of messed him up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because he grew up in the hood and shit, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people I know has, you know what I mean? So I know how it is, but there's certain aspects of the hood you can avoid, you know what I mean, if you tried. But Kane just got sucked into that life and whatnot, you know what I mean? Like selling drugs. He finished school, though. I will say that. My hat's off to him. He actually did finish high school and shit. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm saying people from the hood don't finish school, because there's a lot of smart motherfuckers that come out of there. You know what I mean? But it's just like somebody in Kane's situation. You know what I'm saying? He actually finished high school. Really, he finished high school because, despite the fact that, what he was doing. But, yeah. You know what I mean? And then hanging around O-Dog, I think, kind of, inspired him to do the shit he did, too. In my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kane, there's a lot of shit in that movie that could have been avoided by him. You know what I'm saying? Like, old girl getting knocked up. You know what I mean? Then you know, not wanting to take care of your responsibilities. You beating up a cousin and shit. You know what I mean? Then this dude is coming back on you, which was the worst decision I think he made. Because I think old boy was just trying to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. But then the fight could have probably broke out anyway. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Kane, I say overall Kane's character is not as senseless as old dog. You know what I mean? He could be a cool cat, you know what I'm saying? Cool dude, whatever. But if you piss him off, yeah, you might catch a fist or two. You know what I'm saying? It's just Kane, yo. Seems like he has a temper, but at the same time, he also has, you know, like brains, man. The dude thinks before acting. You know what I mean? Like, Kane's the dude, yo. A lot of people talk about, you know, Old Dog. Old Dog is like the standout character, but as far as I'm concerned, I probably hang around with Kane before Old Dog. You know what I mean? In my personal opinion, yo. But anyway, moving on. Old Dog. Now, this motherfucker, this nigga, yo, he just didn't give a fuck about nothing. You know what I mean? I don't even know how many people he killed in the movie. You know what I mean? Like, I think on screen he probably killed, 2 people? That was the dude, one of the dudes that robbed Kane and shit, and Harold. And then the other dude was the crackhead nigga with the burgers and shit. You know what I'm saying? He shot him because, you know, I'm not even going to repeat it, but y'all know the scene. But yeah, man, Old Dog was wild, man. Larenz Tate, he gave a hell of a performance in that movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, one hell of a performance. That's the dude, yo. Actually, that movie probably had me going back and watching his other movies. You know what I'm saying? Like Dead Presidents, which was a good film. I haven't seen Love Jones, and I haven't seen Why Do Fools Fall in Love. You know what I'm saying? Them movies. I seen Waist Deep. He was in that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think Old Dog, to me, was probably his best performance, in my opinion. And I think at the time, he was only like 18 years old in real life. 17, 18, something like that. And playing the character like that, you know what I'm saying? That shit was crazy. Can I think, and I got fun facts for you guys later on, but I think Old Dog, I think Larenz Tate was actually the only choice to play Old Dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only person that was picked to play Old Dog. Because I never heard any, like, alternative people playing him. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Old Dog was young, black, and just didn't give a fuck, man. You know what I mean? So, moving on. Our next character we're going to be talking about is my boy Wax. MC8. A-Wax. So, from what I gather in the movie, he was doing a lot of G shit back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of, you know, he put his work in and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But I felt like he retired because a lot of the stuff he was doing, he was just kind of like the getaway driver. He was just chilling, minding his business, you know, doing what he does on an everyday basis. You know what I mean? He sat back. He played it cool. You know what I mean? Now, with MC8, around that time in real life, I believe it started in 92, 93, something like that. Maybe even 91. He was beefing with your boy, DJ Quick. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. But yeah, not Old Dog. Goddamn, y'all. A-Wax. A-Wax was the dude, man. Like, in my personal opinion, he's like my character of choice in the movie because he played it cool. You know what I mean? Like, he set Old Dog and Kane straight. You know what I'm saying? When he had to. And then he looked out. You know what I mean? He was cool, but he looked out when he had to. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have too much to say about A-Wax because he really didn't do as much as the others as far as, you know, putting in work and all that right there and then. Because, like I said, when you watch the movie, you get the sense that he put in his work, he did his time already, so he's just chilling. You know what I mean? So, the next character we're going to be talking about is Chauncey. Yo, I swear, man, Chauncey played by Clifton Powell. You know what I mean? This dude played like the same character in a lot of his films. You know what I mean? Like, this dude in this movie, especially the scene where he had the white dude meet up at his house. I guess it was about the car that he was going to send Kane and Old Dog to get. And, yo, that shit was funny. You know what I'm saying? The white dude was just like, oh, you want me to come back tomorrow night? He like, did I stutter, motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. Chauncey's funny. He's like one of those dudes where when everything is cool, calm, and collective, he's like playing his hard cat, trying to, be hard or whatever. But then when shit gets real, like, for example, when Kane pistol whipped his ass, he didn't do nothing. I mean, I know, when you getting pistol whipped and shit, you can't do shit because you hurting. You're on the ground, you busted up and everything. But later on, he basically ratted out Kane and O-Dog. You know what I'm saying? Because he had the videotape. And I'm just like, I don't know why O-Dog left that shit with him to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a dumb move. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm condoning stealing videotapes from liquor stores and shit, but I'm just saying, like, that was a stupid move, leaving that there with Chauncey. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Chauncey was more of a, I don't know. In my opinion, he was kind of like a fake G. You know what I'm saying? Like a fake gangster or something, or wannabe gangster. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's the vibe that I got from him. You know what I mean? Because you didn't really see him out there like that. He was at the cookouts, the parties, and shit like that, hanging out. You know what I'm saying? But when Kane done him in, that was really it. You know what I mean? I think he might have distanced himself from a lot of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I wasn't really a fan of Chauncey. He was kind of funny at times. I'll say that. But not really a fan. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so the next character we're going to be talking about, Sharif, the Muslim gangster. Oh, and fun fact, I'll just get this one out now. Originally, Sharif was supposed to be played by Tupac. You know what I'm saying? But rumor was that, Tupac was acting up in rehearsals and whatnot when they was reading the scripts for the movie, and he kept questioning why his character was this and why his character was that and why his character can't, show his past about him being a gangster before he became Muslim, because he wanted to know why it just showed his character, portraying a Muslim dude and not his past, you know what I'm saying? Which I see, you know what I mean? I hear it, you know what I mean? I get it. But at the same time, I don't think they had the space enough to single out one character's past, especially a supporting character. You know what I'm saying? Like Sharif, because honestly, Kane and O-Dog sort of was the focus of the movie. You know what I mean? So Sharif was a peaceful cat. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't ashamed to express himself, to his friends or whatever. You know what I mean? He's trying to tell them, you know what I mean? Look, the shit you doing ain't right. You know what I mean? Even when Harold got murdered and they left him in the streets, Sharif was right there with him while everybody else pulled off, because they knew he was already dead. You know what I mean? But Sharif stuck around because he felt like this kind of fucked up, leaving his homeboy in the street. You know what I mean? While they take Kane to the hospital. But then it's like you got to see it from both sides. On their end, they knew Kane was still alive. They didn't get him to the hospital, he would have died. On Sharif's end, he felt like, okay, even though he's dead, it's still messed up leaving him in the streets like this. You know what I'm saying? At least take his body, take him somewhere, you know what I mean, to lay to rest, you know what I mean, or something. You just gonna leave him out here in the streets? But yeah, Sharif's character, it was a good character, you know what I'm saying? I like this character. And certain things he said I can relate to, you know what I mean? Good character. So next, Kane's grandparents. So, Kane's grandparents, extremely religious people, and I know how that is. Yeah, I had grandparents like that before. You know what I'm saying? Religious. Well, not really my grandparents, but mostly my mother. You know what I mean? Stepdad. Religious people. You know what I'm saying? So I can relate to Kane by having religious people in my family. You know what I'm saying? His grandparents kept trying to steer him, straight or whatever. And when he graduated, you know what I mean, they was like so proud, which is a good thing. You know what I mean? Kane had somebody there that gave a fuck about him. I mean, his friends cared about him too, but not as much as his grandparents, because like I said, his grandparents wanted him to, fly straight or whatever and do something with his life. You know what I'm saying? Do something worthy with his life, basically. You know what I'm saying? But the problem with Kane was he wasn't really trying to hear what they had to say, because, I mean, I'm not a religious dude either, but at the same time, you know what I mean, you might get something out of that, you know what I mean? So, yeah, his grandparents, I felt like It was making valid points. It's just that I can pretty much do without the religious talk or whatever. But yeah, like I said, they were just trying to steer him, what I'm saying, on the right path and everything. But next character, Ronnie, played by Jada Pinkett Smith. You know what I'm saying? Sexy as fuck back in the day. You know what I mean? But yeah, Ronnie. Okay, so Ronnie was somebody that Kane knew. I assume that, you know what I'm saying, he knew her since childhood, really, or since his early teenage years or whatever, because she was messing around with this one dude named Purnell, and that was a dude that I guess kind of raised Kane, you know what I'm saying, but at the same time, he got with this woman that I take it was much younger than him. They had a baby, you know what I mean, the kid and everything, that Kane was trying to do the same thing that Purnell did for him, which was, you know what I'm saying, Purnell's son, the little kid. You know what I mean? So Ronnie was also another one I was trying to steer Kane on the right path. You know what I mean? Even trying to get him to move to Atlanta with her because she had got a job that was hooked up by her aunt, I think. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, she just wanted him, you know what I mean, to get out of the hood. And I think as far as Ronnie, she was the one, she genuinely liked this dude. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to fuck with him. Even though Kane knew, you know what I'm saying, like Purnell, he thought Purnell wasn't having that, you know what I mean? But Purnell was locked up for life. So, I mean, honestly, Purnell even told him, like, look, I know how she feels about you and everything, you know what I'm saying? Just take care of my son like I took care of you, you know what I mean? Which, good point. You know what I mean? Like, his son can have one more chance with somebody who can steer him straight if he can, you know, fly straight himself. But yeah, man, Ronnie was a hell of a support for Kane, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had it easy with her. Like, all he had to do was just move to Atlanta. If he didn't get into that situation he got into near the end of the movie, he would have been straight, because after all, he did say that he was, you know, going to go with her or whatever. So, you know what I mean? It's a shame he never made it, but yeah, that was the situation. Next character, Purnell. I don't really have too much to say about Purnell, because the only times they really showed Purnell was in the flashback when Kane was a child and at the prison, you know what I'm saying, when Kane was talking to him, which was a very touching scene the first time I saw it, you know what I mean? I ain't cried, nothing like that, but, you know what I mean? It's just like, yo, somebody you knew most of your life is locked up and is never getting out. You know what I mean? I can understand it. You know what I mean? Like, he was like Kane's, like, father, you know what I mean? Pretty much. When his real father was doing all that bullshit, you know what I mean? He was Kane's, like, secondary father. And this dude actually gave a damn about Kane. You know what I mean? But, yeah, Purnell, like, behind bars or whatever, he still seemed like a very humble dude. Don't know what he did, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? He was behind bars or whatever for life, and that's pretty much it, yo. But it's a shame how it is out here, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Purnell was like Kane's main man, yo. You feel me? Tate. I ain't really got too much to say about Samuel Jackson's character either. You know what I'm saying? Because the only time they showed him was the flashback, and when he killed old boy. You know what I mean? He was I think what it was with him, he might have been, because from what I got with that character, people might have walked all over him when he was younger or whatever. And this is me, you know, this is just me going back, you know, over his history, even though they never showed nothing beyond the flashback. Old boy thought he could get over him because I guess, you know, he had a personality where he felt like he wasn't going to do shit. But then, like I was saying earlier in the video, you never know what somebody's going to do. You just never know. They might come off nice, humble, and all of that. You just don't know. You know what I'm saying? But Tate, yo, Samuel Jackson's my dude, because that same year, he also starred in Jurassic Park, which was like the biggest fucking movie in the world at the time. You know what I'm saying? So you went from Jurassic Park, playing Ray Arnold, which is one of my favorite characters in that movie, to playing Tate, which I got to go back and look because I'm not sure which movie came out first, but I know they came out the same year. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Samuel Jackson, that's my dude, yo. That's my motherfucking dude. You know what I'm saying? Moving on. Anthony, the little kid, yo. So the little kid, Anthony, that's Ronnie's son, which is Pernell's son as well. Like, Ronnie does everything she can to try to, steer this boy in the right direction. And Kane is the same way. He gives a fuck about Anthony. He really cares about that little boy. You know what I mean? So I feel like Anthony actually had a chance. He was lucky, you know what I mean? Because his mother, when she moved to Atlanta, I know he was traumatized too near the end of the movie where they were shooting at Kane, they shot his ass up, and Kane was just taking them bullets or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and just running towards Anthony, because all he gave a shit about was protecting Anthony, you know what I'm saying? He ate them bullets, man. Like, when I saw that scene too, that shit was like, man, it took a couple days for me to get that scene out of my head, yo, because it was very powerful, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, that shit can happen to anybody. But he was doing all of that just to get to Anthony, to keep him from getting shot. You know what I mean? Because, like Pernell said, you know what I'm saying, make sure he doesn't end up like I did, because I can't do shit for him anymore. And Kane pretty much did that when he took them bullets for him. You know what I'm saying? Stacy. Now, this character right here, Stacy, he's another cool cat. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of them pimps, you know what I mean? Like, he got, like, I don't know how many baby moms, but I know, yo, they portray him as a player. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't really got too much to say about him either, because he wasn't in the streets like the rest of them was like that. You know what I'm saying? Him and Sharif wasn't out there like that. But Stacy was more like the cool pimp type nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I don't know, man. He kind of remind me of Slick Rick a little bit too. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. He just reminds me of Slick Rick. But yeah, Stacy was a pimp, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I don't really, like I said, I don't really have too much to say about Stacy, but you know what I mean? Smooth cat, yo. And the last character is the basshead. My bad, y'all. I was just taking a look at my notes here. You know what I'm saying? But the basshead. The basshead motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He had a couple classic lines in the movie. I got $2. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that nigga was happy about that $2. Even though he got beat. I don't know if anybody caught that, but he got beat up by AWACS while everybody was just chilling out there in the alley, in the neighborhood or whatever. And then when the cops came, everybody dipped. Now, this dude had no hope in life, man. You know what I'm saying? He played one hell of a bass head, too. You know what I mean? Because there's a scene in the movie where, and it was his last scene, too, where he was talking to O-Dog. You know what I mean? He was just trying to get some shit off O-Dog or whatever. And he was trying to offer him some cheeseburgers. Man, I got these cheeseburgers, man. You know what I'm saying? And then when he said what he said to O-Dog, that was it. Like I said, I'm not going to repeat the line, but y'all know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. And that was it for him. He really didn't have too much time in the movie. You know what I mean? But that actor, take my hat off to him, because he played one hell of a bass head. You know what I'm saying? But the story overall, like I was saying before, is a good story. You know what I'm saying? The movie is great. You know what I mean? And like I said, the scary thing is that story can happen to anybody. Anybody. It doesn't matter, like, living in the hood or not. That shit can happen to anybody. If you get sucked up into that life, it can happen to you. So don't think it can't. You know what I'm saying? That movie, to me, is like a treasure. And I even have it on DVD, right along with New Jack City in a double pack. You know what I'm saying? The movie, I can watch that movie once a year and never get tired of it. Ever. That movie's always going to be a fan favorite, man. But overall, if I got to give it a 1 out of 10, yo, Menace to Society gets 8.5 for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the violence, the special effects, you know what I'm saying, with Kane getting shot with everything, Kane getting shot and everything, you know what I'm saying, like, that shit was so realistic, man. If you're a child and you watching that movie, you probably really think Tyrin Turner's getting shot up. You know what I mean? The shit's crazy, man. And yeah, so the movie deserves an 8.5 out of 10 for me. You know what I mean? So there's a couple of fun facts in this movie. I already pointed out one where Sharif's character was supposed to be played by Tupac. And then another fun fact is Kane, before Time Turner took that role, it was actually supposed to be played by a rapper named Spice One. I don't know if y'all heard of him, but check him out. His music is dope. You know what I mean? Straight West Coast. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a supposed prison riot scene that never made it onto the DVD or cassette or even in theaters. You know what I'm saying? The scene was cut supposedly. I guess it was the scene where Kane got locked up for that, what was it, for a couple of days or something like that, or maybe a week, I'm not sure, I forgot, but there was a supposed scene, it was a prison riot that took place, and the movie would have received the X rating if they would have kept that scene in there, so they cut the scene and got dropped down to an R, you know what I mean? So that's pretty much all the fun facts I have for that. But yeah, man, I really did enjoy reviewing this movie. So if you never seen it, Menace to Society, 1993. Check it out. You can find it pretty much anywhere for a decent price. You know what I'm saying? If you never seen it, you gotta watch it. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. But yeah, man, next movie review, we're gonna be talking about The Silent Twins. New movie. I just recently seen it. The movie is okay. It's a little long to me though, but it's alright. You know what I mean? So, like I said, we're going to come back and do that review. And I appreciate you guys for listening once again. This is your boy, Chris B. Daniels, and you have now tuned in to World Rule Talk. You know what I mean? So, be back here. We will be on here Saturday to do that review. So, get with me. Alright? Peace!